Welcome back everybody to Tesla Driver. Thank you so much for jumping into this video with me. Today we've actually got 3 camera angles and one of them only has 10 minutes of recording, so the left camera angle may die in like 5 to 10 minutes, so please do bear that in mind. Today we're going to be doing a run that I actually did 2 videos ago from Caen to Swindon, and this time we're doing it at night, so it's just coming up to roughly, what's the time, 8:30, and as you can see it is pitch black. The roads are pretty quiet, so I thought this would be a really good time to do it. And the whole car is pretty much on auto, so I've got auto lights on, auto wipers on, and of course we're going to be doing AutoPilot. So we're going to be able to see how they all work and comparing it to how it was in the daytime. So in the daytime trip, there were potentially 3 or 4 times that I actually had to stop autopilot and start controlling it myself. So we're going to be looking for hopefully a little bit better results than that out at night. I really don't know how it's going to go because I rarely do it at night, but obviously we're going to find out together. So we're going to obviously stick to the speed limits, just below them for the majority of the time, and I'm going to try and give you a rough like guess of how the car's doing so that hopefully you can feel it. And let me know if that left camera angle does help at all, and whether you want me to keep that at a later video. So the reason I mentioned at the start of this video that this whole thing is going to be done with auto everything is because I want to show you the auto lights, and of course I want to show you the auto wipers if they come out, because or if it starts raining, because we get a lot of rain here in the UK, and I found the auto wipers to be slightly, let's go with questionable. It can be questionable at some times, and we might even get a random 1 or 2 come up today, so we're not sure. The lights, on the other hand, I find the majority of time are really, really good. Sometimes though, they feel that they maybe should turn off a little bit earlier. I get quite annoyed when people are full beaming me. I actually just got back from the Dominican Republic, and everybody there has full beams on all the time. I was amazed. It was hideous. I felt like I was in hell and my eyes were burning, but here, obviously we don't do that, and auto lights are coming a lot more common. You can tell when someone is using auto lights or not. So we're still full beaming right now. See, and that guy's full beamed us back. Exactly that. See what I mean? That's here. I mean, that's a British person being very British, but auto lights, should they be a little bit more, I guess, forgiving or more thoughtful to the other drivers? Or are they just something that needs to be worked upon? This isn't the first car that I've had with auto lights. I think I said wipers, I'm meaning lights. Here we did go out on the right slightly last time, and then it clocked us back in, just like that. And yep, that did it absolutely fine. So for example, this guy up here was full beaming, but it's not a big problem. I don't really have a big problem with that. I'm just gonna speed myself up now to 50. And we're gonna tootle up here at 50. So yeah, so I've had other cars with auto lights on before, including BMWs. I also had a Volvo for a bit on as a courtesy car, and I had a Rolls-Royce Dawn, and they all had some sort of auto lights. And I actually found that the Volvo was the best. It did this thing where, at least I think it was a Volvo, where it blocked certain parts of the road. So it stayed full beam even if someone was on the other side of the road. And when it did that, they weren't getting full beamed at them directly, but I was still getting perfect light everywhere else. Whereas as you can see here, when it decides to turn off, it turns the whole things off. It's not like, I don't think it's, so we should go right here. Oh, we didn't. There we go, we did at the end there. So on an earlier video, we swerved right because it could see the lines, maybe because it was brighter, whereas there it actually felt a lot more smoother. So yeah, sorry, it would block out basically the other car. I always say the enemy car, but it's the other car. I don't know why I say enemy. The enemy, it's a lot of video games I play, so that's why. And normally they would have no problems with it at all. The Rolls-Royce did a very similar thing, but it was kind of like, it just turned the right headlight off, I think, and then the left headlight stayed full beam, whereas this one actively tracked, and you could actually watch it, and it was quite satisfying to watch, to be honest. Now, on this part of the road the other day, I complained about previously, in very, very early models, we were super close to the left. The other day we were super close to the right, whereas now I feel we're kind of actually somewhere in the middle where we should be. But I feel that that guy's light is insanely bright. He's only got one op- bloody hell. Alright mate, chill. It's like, it's a cool night, calm down. Whereas this is actually holding us really nicely in the middle of the road. And I'm feeling a lot more confident. Let's go up to 55. Now, the first time I had to actually interrupt autopilot is coming up ahead. It was on this slight left bend that will be coming up. There's police cars there on the left. I assume they're waiting to see if people are speeding. I'm not 100% sure. There are normally police cars up here on the weekends to trap people when they're speeding, because loads of bikers do this road and try and get their top speeds on it at like 1, 2 a.m. It's actually quite fun to come out and watch them, but obviously, yeah, they get caught sometimes, which is a shame. So, let's try and stick in the middle of the road as we go down here. This is where it had trouble last time. It's really, you guys on the camera are going to see even less, obviously, but as soon as like the headlights are gone, I can't see past it, so it is quite close. So we're getting some pretty crazy turning to the left here. It's not feeling very smooth at all, but it's not getting as close to the left as last time because I'm not hitting all the drains and the potholes. You can clearly hear them. There's one. Okay, we're getting a little bit closer, but it's still not too close. You guys are going to have hopefully a great view because of the left camera, but that did it really well. Now, has that learned from the time I aborted it last time? I don't know. I don't think it learns that quickly, but that's a really interesting thing actually, that it's done that, and it's already seemed to fix where we had issues last time. So I'm putting it down to 40, and then I'm gonna just flick it off of autopilot here and do this little bit myself. And actually, we're behind the bus again. Funnily enough, in the last video, we were behind the exact same bus. So this could be quite handy because it's going to keep us at like a lower speed, but also it's the exact same conditions. I didn't even plan that, and that worked really, really well. Okay, autopilot was saying it wanted to come on, but now it doesn't. There we go, we can now. One real quick thing I want to make sure that people understand that maybe don't have a Tesla or haven't understood autopilot and this is the first time watching it. Yes, my hands are on the wheel, but even if I do that, like, nothing happens to the car. It doesn't affect anything. Only if I do a hard enough tug, or if the car itself turns the wheel and I keep my hands true so much that it like breaks it, only then will it decide that I want to take back control and it will give it back to me. So even though my hands are on the wheels at all times, yes, autopilot is on, okay? It is doing it itself. I just have to hold it there. But even if I let go, it still would work, but obviously that's not safe. So we're following this bus quite nicely. I assume we're on 1 or 2 back here. Let's go. Oh no, we were on 3. We're actually set 3 back, but it does seem relatively close. But I've got to say, so far, the Tesla autopilot system is working better at night than in the day. Okay, well, I'm slowing right down to 30, but look at that bus, absolutely flying through. I mean, that gives you a little idea of the speeds people go. He's flying through that 30. I tried to hold it down and go as slow as I could, but there's no one else on the road, so I'm just going to let it do what it did last time here, which was a little bit of a swerve. You can see that it's going a little bit left, a little bit right, and we're kind of central in the road, so I'm just going to pull it back and go over left here. And we're going to give this corner a go again at the exact same speeds as last time, which was like 20 miles an hour. So again, there's no one around us. We've got one guy behind us that's going to be coming up soon, but I just want to see if it does it. Look at that. Look at that. That did it really, really well. No problems. I mean, I was going 20, but okay, now we're going back into the middle of the road, so let's just take control again. But yeah, as you saw, that bus flew through that gateway. I was hoping that he would keep to the speed so that I didn't have to quickly adjust, but because I had to adjust it several times, I think the system got a little bit confused. So let's just go around him real quick and get back onto the drive. So I won't be going all the way to Swindon this time, whereas last time I did go all the way to Swindon. I won't be doing that this time, mainly because I've just put my daughter to bed and my partner wants to go to the gym and I'm absolutely knackered. So I do need to get back to sort everything out at home. Taking that corner nicely. And we're actually getting a little bit of rain. You can see there's a few raindrops coming down, so that's going to be interesting with auto wipers, and also to see how much the autopilot system thinks it needs to have on and off, if that makes sense. Like, can you have autopilot on and auto wipers off? I'm not sure. So someone said just tap it once and it should go up to the top speed, but mine doesn't. It only does 1 mile an hour a time, which is interesting. So down this road last time, we had no issues. We are full beaming, and I feel very, very odd doing that because there's a car ahead. Okay, it's turned off full beaming now. But as you saw, that car dipped down and kind of disappeared for a split second, or at least it did for my eyes. And that made it a little bit difficult, I think, for the system to see the car ahead. Whoa, there we go. That was too close to that left curb there. I had to pull it off to the right. That didn't happen there last time, so that's interesting. Maybe just because of the dark and the different kind of lines and stuff made it a bit difficult for the car to understand. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let this car behind go ahead here. I would just rather there be like no issues and no one like really close to me. He started to get quite close because I was going to do this bit a little bit slower. So I'm going to do this bit at 40 miles an hour. This is a tight left bend followed by a tight right bend, and then this little dip that sometimes gets the camera. So here I have touched the left side before, just here. But as you can see now, it actually stays further to the right, which is really nice. And it does that no problem. So we had an issue there before, and I have had issues at this dip here before as well. So it should do this first bit fine, but it's this second bit. You'll see how we go up, then we dip kind of back down. Yeah, see, it goes quite close to the left there. I'm going to let it do it though. I'm going to keep it going and speed it up out the corner. Okay, that did that really well actually. That no problems. A little bit close. Again, it's just as you go up and down on some of these roads, that's when I sometimes think the system itself maybe gets a little bit confused, or just has to process things a little bit quicker, or should process things a little bit quicker, whereas on here it just doesn't. But overall, actually, guys, I'm pretty satisfied with this at night. I think it's definitely just as good as it was in the day, if not debatably better. This is a really tight right turn, and as you can see there, I wasn't even turning, but because I was holding it straight and it wanted to do something that I didn't feel was safe, it aborted it for me, and we were able to go back on. So I'm just going to bring this back up to 50 miles an hour and go back onto it. We did have issues here, I believe, where on the left side because it got too close. But that was okay. It felt quite close, to be totally honest. It still does feel quite close. And let's break it back down and see if it can do this corner. It won't be able to. It really won't. But I'm going to let it try. Oh, it's doing it. It's doing it. No way, it did it. Wow, okay. So is the Tesla Autopilot better at night? Really, that was odd because that actually worked fine. And as you can see here, we're coming out these corners. So everyone does drive between 50 and 60 up these roads, and debatably faster. So 50 and 60 is the common kind of speed for these bits, but they do get very windy. And as you can see, the Tesla actually is doing so well at 50 miles an hour. Wow, I'm really impressed. Yep, that was good. So this is that kind of blind hill that's about to be coming up. You can see cars will go over it at the top there and just kind of disappear. It is a very like peak almost of this little hill. And let's see how it does at night. I think I did this at 50 miles an hour in the daytime video. So we're going to be doing the same speed today. And let's just see how it goes. Getting a little bit close to the left, but yeah, did it no problem. Nice quick turning there as well. I've got to say, for this journey, except for a couple of the corners which are way too tough for it to do, and the fact that it still can't regulate its speed is obviously one of the biggest issues here with corners, I would almost feel safe for it to drive the majority of the way by itself. As we say that, it gets too close to the left-hand side for my liking, and you can see that it came off autopilot by itself. Put it back on. But this is a 60, so I'm going to go up and do the 60 miles an hour. Some people think our roads here are too fast. I don't, if I'm being totally honest. I'm very surprised when I go abroad to find very slow roads. And I'm going to pull it back down to 50 for the 50 junction or gateway here. But again, that's something that I think they could sort out very simply. All it needs to do there is read a sign and then judge so it's comfortable for the driver. Now, I'm going to leave this at 50 around these bends. This is where my partner Holly was like, whoa, it felt a bit close to the left. but because she's not here, I'll do it a little bit faster. Yeah, you see, it did it fine, but then it overcompensated for itself, and as it overcompensated, I didn't feel safe, so I kind of did the corner as I would do. Because the whole idea is that I should be steering lightly anyway, and the car should just mimic it, or it should do it anyway, because we should be in sync. So when it does something slightly different to what I would do, it cuts out like that. And it's actually a really good way to test everything, and I love being a beta tester, so I can't complain. Alright, let's go up to 60 then for this final bit. You know what, I will go all the way down to Rawton like I did in the last video, because I want to see if that lorry section next to the Ebola drone from the Grand Tour screws me up again, because I think last time we actually slammed on there. Again, a very common question I get is, will autopilot speed? Yes, it will. I'm just going to show you that by putting it up to 65, but keeping it at 60. Oh, it won't. Wow, okay. Well, that's new to me. I thought it would. Oh wait, no, I set a limit so that it wouldn't. Sorry, my bad. So here again, we did do these corners last time quite nicely. I've put it down to 40, just because it did start taking that a little bit quick. Bring it back up though, because it's gone a bit slow again. But as you can see, it did that fine. A little bit quick, but it did it, and that's fine. As long as it does it and I don't die, I'm happy. Right, bit too close to the left there for me. Again, that was as we were coming downhill on a tight left turn. It just didn't like it, and that was the problem. So let's put it back on here. My full beams are on, now they're off. Good, that was nice. I think maybe because there were 3 or 4 cars there, it decided to turn it off. At least I think it's done on brightness by the lights. I'm not 100% sure. But I do get a lot of people when I have my auto lights on. If I'm following them and they have like old kind of dim rear tail lights, it doesn't seem to see them, and a lot of people then put their hazards on because I'm unintentionally full beaming them. That took that corner really nice. And you can see there is no left lane line here, sorry, at all. This is the Ebola drone again, everybody on the right, just so you can all kind of know where we are. It feels close to the left here, but it did it fine. And now we've got that left line. And this is the area last time where we had our slam on. So there is no one behind us that I can see. No one behind us. And if there's cars on the left here, which normally are, because this is the make out point. Yes, here we go. Here we go. We are going to slam on. Yeah, we're slamming on. We are slamming on. And, oh, slamming on again, and now the car's going past. So again, there was no one behind, so I made sure for that there. But you can see there's clearly a problem there, where because it was going over a hill like that, it couldn't see the lines, and it couldn't make out that those cars weren't in our lane. We've also got the rain coming down, so I'm just going to keep the video rolling for a minute to see when auto wipers come on. They are definitely on, just in case you're asking, or wondering. But I would normally start putting my wipers on about now. But it doesn't seem to. I'm just going to flick my wipers down. Yeah, I flick them down, flicking them up. They're definitely on. I'm going to flick them again. It's still not doing it. I'm going to flick them again. Okay, so the third time, it now is doing it, but this is off auto wiper. This is it just like wiping itself. Oh, interesting. Well, hey, okay. So, that was horrible. And I think that was because of the rain and because of the wipers. But the thing was, the auto wiper should have sorted that. I've turned it off again so that it's on auto wipe. And we're going back into auto steer. Okay, I've definitely got to do a rain video, haven't I? And again here, we should slow down because there are cars on our road. Yep, and it has done that. And then I'm going to have to pull it off and go around the cars. So, interesting. We've learned that actually at night, the autopilot system is pretty good. But when the rain comes, the auto wipers didn't turn on. I'm just going to confirm for you guys. Actually, I'm going to pull over and confirm, because last time I used my touchscreen while driving, so many people complained. And I don't understand why, because, you know, it's a touchscreen and it's meant to be used, and you can use it while you drive. So I'm just going to pull up here on the right, and just so that you lot can see, I hope that you can see the screen, I'm going to turn the brightness up just in case you can't. Settings, and then it is in, where is it? Vehicle? Yeah, here at the bottom. Auto wipers beta on. You can see that that is on. When set to auto, your Model X windshield wipers will adjust their speed based on how much rain has accumulated on the windscreen. And that's for the first 2 notches. I hope you can hear that. That's autopilot, and then when I flick it one more, that's just on now, and then you can obviously go faster again as well. So, interesting. Started off great, and the rest of the video was actually a pretty good success. By the end of it, it seemed to go a little bit questionable. So we'll do this again. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'm definitely going to do a rain video. We've got loads of rain coming this week. Woohoo. And I'll get a cool video out for you guys. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to enter the giveaway that I'm doing. I posted a video about it yesterday, and I've just gone all out for you guys, so I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, don't forget, drive safe.